Okay, I will call the meeting to order. Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see everyone. The first item on the agenda is declaration of interest. Does anyone have anything to declare? No, I don't see any hands up. And there are no delegations on the agenda. And so we'll move to the next item, and that is the Town of Hanover Community Splash Pad Project, and that is Laura Christian who is going to be presenting. I'll hand it over to you, Laura.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. This is certainly a very exciting project in the town of Hanover. So it's been something we've been working on. I'll go back as far as 2022, but it's probably even been longer than that. So thank you very much for the opportunity to present this project to the committee today, and certainly looking forward to your feedback. So as for my report, we've been kind of looking at this as a community project, and we are certainly, we just announced actually even last night that we're getting closer and closer. We've just reached our fundraising goal. So it is the intention for us to take this project to tender, probably even within the next 30 days. So I'll provide some details for everyone. We certainly conducted a number of investigations. One of the biggest things that we faced early in the project was determining what's the best site for the splash pad. And we certainly had a number of opportunities. We looked at Kinsman Ballpark, we looked at Heritage Square, which is our location right downtown. But ultimately, it was Hanover Town Park, which is located at 787th Ave. That has been selected as that future site of the splash pad. It was identified as being, it had a lot of advantages. There was parking, there's existing washrooms, there's other recreational opportunities that are already at that park itself, particularly the playgrounds. And this splash pad will be certainly a nice addition to the park itself, and certainly enhance it. And even there are future upgrades that are planned at that park as well. That'll be something that would be brought forward to this committee in a future discussion. Today is more this phase one, which is just the development of the splash pad itself. So the splash pad is going to incorporate features that will include sensory stimulation. There'll be active play components, and ultimately, our goal is to create a welcoming, a safe environment that allows children to engage at their level of enjoyment. So some of the design features, it will be what's called that flow-through water system. So it will be potable water that will be used for the spray features. It's going to include a variety of elements that will have some above ground, it will have some in-ground features, and it's also going to be have kind of that predictable sort of pattern to it. So the splash pad will be, it's not on all the time. It will be activated. Typically it's a button that's pushed, and that will activate the sequencing and provide different zones and areas for the kids to enjoy, and the zones themselves. We're looking to kind of create sort of what we've defined as, let's say, that toddler zone. So for example, if you've ever been to a splash pad, and often they'll have kind of maybe those big dump buckets. We're receive feedback. Sometimes, having a big dump bucket and a small little toddler, having a big pile of water being dumped down can be intimidating for the little guys or anybody who kind of faces that needs that additional like safety and don't want to overwhelm any of our users. So ideally, we're going to kind of make those different zones where the toddler zone that we've nicknamed it won't have as aggressive type features and be a little bit more of that, ground element as well. That'll hopefully kind of accommodate to all of our users' kind of comfort and their abilities. The splash pad itself, it is going to be made out of concrete, and all of the connecting pathways from the parking lot will be concrete. There will be give our users that ability to kind of link from the parking lot to the splash pad and ultimately to our washroom facilities. And also there is an existing adjacent pavilion at the property right now. So that'll all be able to link through concrete pathways. And then we're also going to be providing a variety of seating options for our users, as well as some of the feedback that we've received is definitely being able to provide some of those shaded options as well. I'll carry on. The very exciting part as well that is included in this project is to include a washroom renovation. So currently at Hanover Town Park, yes, there's pavilions, and the pavilions does include a washroom, but the washrooms are far from accessible. So it is very exciting to provide this accessible washroom as part of this project. So it's not just our users of the splash pad that will benefit from this, it's all of our users at that park that will benefit from the washroom renovation. The washroom renovation will be our existing campers washroom. So the building's actually already there. The Hanover Town Park operated as campsites, and we've gotten away from that. And so that campers washroom has really just been sitting there vacant. Like we haven't been using it for a number of years. But the great thing about it is in the perfect location to link with the splash pad. And it's a block wall, concrete block wall building. The building itself is in good shape. So we're going to be simply gutting it, and we're going to have we'll have grab bars, emergency lighting, accessible sink and mirror, raised toilet, open space for wheelchair clearance, and also space to allow for an adult-sized change table, the emergency call system, and an automatic opener. So I've provided the drawings of the proposed washroom, as well as a site plan for the splash pad. And I'm certainly open to your suggestions and feedback, and want to thank you very much for this opportunity. Can't hear you.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, Laura. I just want to say that this is an amazing project. I looked at the drawings, and I think that from what I see and what I've read, you've pretty well covered everything with regards to accessibility. So congratulations on that. Does anybody on the committee have any questions for Laura? No? Oh, Kathy.
Okay, I'll just throw this out there because I've heard a lot lately from an advocate with lived experience who really focuses on accessible bathrooms, and her name is Julie Sawchuk. And she really advocates for an additional grab bar that's on the other side of the toilet that is retractable. So it's on the wall and it folds down so that the person in the wheelchair can have two ways of maneuvering themselves on and off, and then the grab bar just retracts back up. It's just a manual pull it down, pull it up. So if that could be included, I know that would be really well received.
That's a great idea, Kathy. And I've actually seen those grab bars. And yeah, and and even if they aren't, if the individual is not able to strength wise pull it down, hopefully they're with someone that would be able to accommodate that. Yeah, great idea. Pam, you had your hand up.
Yeah, thank you. And certainly echo the comments. What a great project. I just, it probably just is a detail that isn't shown on this plan, but in your area, it says new upper parking lot. And that's great. It looks like it's all hard surfaced and you've got a gate there. And you might just want to make sure that you've got maybe like two accessible parking spaces in that area, like the two different types that allow for the side unloading and that sort of thing. And then I like the idea of the fence around it. I think that's really great. And I just wonder, like while it's operational, if there may be a way so that people aren't trying to have to work that gate. Anyways, just think about what kind of closure you have on that, just to make sure that it's accessible. And if I was doing this project, I'd have to sort that out, but it might be just something that you want to think about. So, but congratulations, this is a great project.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Pam. Good detail there. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions or comments for Laura? Okay, I'll move forward with the motion then. That report Town of Hanover Community Splash Pad Project be received, and that the Grey County Joint Accessibility Advisory Committee review and provide comment in accordance with the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act. And can I have someone move the motion?
I can do it. It's Brooke.
Oh, okay, thanks, Brooke. And can I have a seconder? Jacob? Okay, great. And all in favor?
Yes, it's Brooke.
Okay, great, Brooke. Andrew? Jacob? Andrew? I'll ask again. Andrew, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Is that yes in favor of?
Yes, I favor of
Okay,
it.
thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, Laura. We greatly appreciate it. Okay, our second item is lease of space, Erskine Center in Dundalk. And I will hand this over to Melissa McCullough.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chairperson, and hello, everyone. I'm going to share my screen, and I will try and stick with my notes here today to go over a lease proposal that we are proposing to go into at the Erskine Center in Markdale. I'm going to provide some background on our program and what we are proposing to use this space for. So I'm the Ontario Works program manager for Grey County, and Ontario Works is a provincial financial assistance program that's delivered by I've just got to change my view here because I've got some stuff blocking there we go. Sorry. So we are the financial assistance program that's delivered by Grey County. And in addition to financial aid, the program provides life stabilization and employment supports, some mental health resources, housing assistance, and referrals to community programs. And these services are designed to address barriers and help build skills and support individuals on their pathway to long-term success. The program currently is supporting approximately 1,400 households, and that includes around 2,800 individuals across Grey County at this time. Our main office is at the Grey County Administration Building, but we have satellite offices that are across the county. We have one in Hanover, we have one in Durham, Markdale, and Meaford. And these offices, Hanover and Durham, are 4 days a week, and Markdale, I'll be getting to further down, and Meaford is 4 days a week as well. And what is triggering this lease is that we have to address that we've had a significant caseload shift down in the southern area of Grey, where we were primarily located in Markdale. We've seen the caseload shift to the southern end, and we have a lot more clients and families in the Dundalk area than we do in Markdale now. And we've been partnered with the Southeast Grey Community Health Center for quite a few years now, since they located in Markdale and opened their health center. We were in Grey Gables at one time at the back, and when the community health center moved to it was the old board office in Markdale, we were invited to join other community partners there, for ease of service for a lot of our mutual clients. And we did that. The year is gapping on me, but I want to say probably about 7 years ago. And they've since expanded the same Southeast Grey Community Health Center. They've expanded to Dundalk. So our office that is currently located in Markdale, because of this shift, we are going to decrease the time that we're spending in Markdale and increase our time in Dundalk. And they've worked with us to keep us as a partner and adjust to the changing needs of the caseload to allow us more new space in Dundalk and shift our time in Markdale. So we're going to be able to keep the Markdale office, have more time in Dundalk, and keep it cost neutral as well, which we appreciate. And they're providing what we're hoping is suitable office space in both locations to meet that changing demographic of the Ontario Works caseload. So because we've been in Markdale, the Markdale Center for quite some time, it's a new lease, but we're kind of considering it a renegotiated lease at that center. But Erskine Center in Dundalk is new. And so that's the one that we're going to focus on today. It's operated by the health center. It serves the municipalities. Sorry, this is just a bit of background actually about Southeast Grey Community Health Center. They serve the municipalities of Southgate, Chatsworth, Grey Highlands, and West Grey. And as a community health center, it offers a variety of programs focused on health and mental health supports. They have a lot of programs. The ones I'm highlighting here are the ones that I think are quite applicable to our Ontario Works caseload. They offer so many more that you can see on their website. So the ones that we utilize the most that would be available in the same building and at Erskine is the harm reduction services, community lunches, settlement services for newcomers. There is a large community of newcomers in the southern area of the county, and also emergency needs assistance. The health center offers it, and then in partnership with us, we can help with some of the financial aspects of that. And the co-location ensures that the Ontario Works clients can access these services seamlessly, and that they're supported on site by staff who can facilitate these warm referrals to the appropriate programs. So there's a lot of benefits to being in the same building. At the Erskine Center, they've made some extensive renovations in the past few years to what was formerly the Erskine Presbyterian Church uh, in order to meet the accessibility standards. Not easy in a church, and I think the area of Dundalk, there wasn't a lot of options at the time either. I'll go over the key accessibility features, and then I've got some photos below that will give a visual of them. So for building access, there is a wheelchair ramp. There's a paddle entry, wide entryways for mobility devices. The signage is clear, high contrast signage for easy navigation. The washrooms are fully accessible, equipped with grab bars, emergency call buttons, and space for mobility aids. The parking facilities are year-round on-street parking located close to the entrance. There isn't designated parking, which I did find surprising, and that's something that we can look into as to why there isn't designated parking on the street. There may be some background there. As far as the program accessibility, there actually aren't service counters at the center. It's got a very sort of friendly, informal, I'll say, vibe to it. When you come in, guests are greeted. There's a sound actually goes off when people enter, and then someone from staff from the health center come and greet, and then guide people to the appropriate services. I've been there. Lots of people just walk right in and just, head straight downstairs to the community lunch or whatever programming is happening. But there is always, sort of somebody hanging around in the lobby, or if it's a quiet day, they might be in their office, but then they come and greet. And Ontario Works clients are welcomed in the lobby and accompanied to the office area. And there is a stair lift available to access the lower level. The lower level is where our office is. And then this information was provided to me by the staff at the Community Health Center, that they receive regular AODA compliant training to ensure that the high quality service delivery, and that includes customer service for individuals with disabilities, sensitivity and awareness training to address diverse needs, and emergency response procedures to accommodate individuals with disabilities during a crisis. And as far as community engagement, they collaborate with their stakeholders to enhance accessibility, and there are feedback mechanisms in place to gather input from individuals with disabilities, and regular consultations are held with advisory committees and disability advocates to address concerns and improve the services. We feel that the health center demonstrates a commitment to accessibility. They provide a welcoming environment for all community members. The proposed lease agreements will provide accessible space in the communities of Markdale and Dundalk for Ontario Works clients to meet with their caseworker and have ease of access to a variety of other services that are offered by the health center and the other community partners that are co-located there as well. And any feedback and future considerations that's provided by the committee will be considered, and we'll take it back to the Community Health Center and our Ontario Works team for review. So I think I'll go through the pictures here and then give some time for feedback. So this picture is the view from Victoria Street. So you can see the old church and the add-on part here and the main entrance. There's only one entrance for the center. The church part here is used mostly for the like fitness type programs. All of the health center services are more in this main area here. You can see the wheelchair entrance from the road. This is the area that I was surprised that I was thinking maybe it was an old picture, and that the designated parking, that's sort of where I would have visioned it if there was. The staff that work there, the Ontario Work staff said that parking, everyone's very respectful of staff wise of not taking up any of this parking. He hasn't noticed that there's been any issues of people having to park far away from the building. And there aren't any other businesses located right around this church. It's a residential neighborhood, and everyone sort of has laneways that I've noticed where they park as well. So there doesn't seem to be a lot of competition either to the health center. When you come up to the entrance, this is where the paddle button is for the door to open automatically. My pictures are a little out of order, I notice here now, but there are two accessible washrooms on the lower level. Yeah, this is where I got it out of order. When you come in the doors, this is more of the view here, and another paddle button for these double doors to open. And this is a picture of the stair lift if it was needed to go down to the lower level. And then once you get down to the lower level, this is the view. So this is where they hold some of their after school programs. They hold a few community lunches every week that are very well attended. And they also have emergency sort of pantry items and clothing available for people if needed when they come to those community lunches that they can take as well, and some frozen meals in this area. And so this is where our Ontario Works office is, back here in this left-hand corner. So folks would just come down through here and to the left and in there, and then you can see that there's a private area, which is important. And that's all.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. What a great addition to the church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you for sharing those photos. It does help. Oh, Ray, I see you've got your hand up. Oh, you're muted, Ray.
Yeah, I should have recognized that fact. I've got a couple questions, and one has to do with the geographic placement of the Dundalk. Is there any assistance from the adjoining counties? Because I would imagine, because of where it's located, there will be some usage.
So transportation to get to the center?
No, I'm referring to is there usage of people from the Shelburne area
Oh,
in this facility? And if so, is there any uh, additional assistance from that county?
my understanding at this time is it's very well utilized from residents of Dundalk. I haven't heard too much about people coming from out of area at all. I think it's sort of well advertised amongst the people that are already using the center. For the other services. So I'm not sure. I can certainly ask them. I don't know how they screen that, right? If they're asking where people are coming from.
What are the services of the health center in itself? And would that not be part of the Shelburne area?
No, the health center itself is supported by those municipalities that I mentioned, Chatsworth, Southgate. That's where their funding is to serve those municipalities. So I think that's really driving who is using that center.
Okay, and I was also looking at that double door. When you first go in the hallway, you're leaving the lobby heading into the center. Is that wide enough for without swinging the second door? Or
I'm not sure. Yeah, I can ask.
And I would also be very insistent of the parking issue.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Okay, thank you.
Claudia, you have your hand up. Claudia?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
we can hear you.
Okay, there was another unmute button to push. There seemed to be like 3 or so. Anyways, I want to say to Ray, if you're looking for services in Shelburne, call 211, the government number that can give you any and all information about any kind of resources, and it's a free call. Shelburne is a bigger jurisdiction than Dundalk, so I would think that Shelburne has everything available on its own. But in regards to the Erskine Center, when I saw that photo that Ray mentioned, when you come into the door, there's this button to open the second part of that double door, but it won't be able to open. Looking at the picture, there's chairs in the way. The chairs shouldn't really be there. And then in regards to the parking, perhaps they were thinking that people who are disabled only go to ODSP offices. However, for me, it took, I think, 5 years to be able to get ODSP because they really make sure to drag their food and take you to court and all that. And in those 5 years, if I would be a wheelchair user, I would have needed one. So if the people who are working on that center tell you they don't need disability parking because ODSP people go to ODSP, maybe that would be a good argument telling them it takes years to get there. And that's all I had.
Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Does anyone else have any questions or comments for Melissa? And I think with regard, sorry, Ray.
Actually, I am in Owen Sound. I was just referring to that because of situations in Owen Sound with the adjoining townships and municipalities. And that if the building is handicapped accessible, that in itself should designate that it needs to be handicap parking.
I mean, they provide primary healthcare services there with a nurse practitioner, so it surprised me that wasn't there. So yeah, I'm going to follow up and through you, Madam Chairperson, what is the process? This is the first lease. I understand that the committee's reviewed. So how would we like to address that for follow-up?
Typically, Kathy, I'm going to ask for your support here on Melissa's question. What would be the typical process there?
Okay. Yeah, so it's going to be an on-street parking. one of the criteria for that is to bring it forward to this committee for review and comment. We do see that this committee is supportive of exploring that. What next steps look like, I don't actually know, but I'll figure that out and I'll get back in touch with you on that, Melissa.
Perfect. Thanks, Kathy. And I think, Pamela, you had your hand up?
Yeah, just to reiterate what Kathy was saying about on-street parking. I thought that the last document or that extra document that you sent out, Kathy, about the changes that were coming with AODA within the next few months, I sort of thought, you have to have street parking and you have to have or you will have to, sorry, you will have to
Yeah.
have the side parking, like the ability to have a side park as well as a diagonal park.
Mhm.
So
Thanks.
Yeah.
better sooner than later.
Thank you. Thank you for that information. And Ray,
Yeah.
you have your hand up as well?
Yes, I would suggest a minimum of 2
Good point.
spots. And like was mentioned there with the side parking, some handicaps drive, but there's quite a capacity or quite a number that would be getting out of the car on the right hand side. So that curb should be extended.
Yeah, good point, Ray. Very good point. And Kathy, yes.
Yeah, so the document that Pamela was talking about was suggested recommendations from a committee that was established to review the standard. And they have not, they being the province, has not declared when formal response to that would be happening or when legislation might change. But I will definitely keep everybody apprised of those as they move forward. And then in the meantime, I think we can, even though it's not like legislated right at the moment, we can proceed with exploring what the next steps are.
Great. Thanks, Kathy. Okay, does anyone else have any other questions or comments for Melissa? No? Well, Melissa, thank you very much for your presentation. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I will move with the motion that the Grey County Joint Accessibility Advisory Committee review and provide comment in accordance with the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, AODA. Can I get someone to move the motion? Jacob, okay. And a seconder, please.
I can do it. It's Brooke.
Okay, great, Brooke. And all in favor? Andrew?
Yes.
Thank you. Brooke?
Yes.
All in favor? Okay, thank you. Okay, there is no correspondence on the agenda today, but under other business, there is update from the ministry on the MSAA Web Accessibility User Survey, and I believe that would be Kathy.
Yeah, thank you. Somebody on the committee did reach out and ask me what were the results coming out of that survey, and lots of people participated in it, and thank you very much. So when I was at the fall conference for my accessibility colleagues throughout the province, there was a panel there from the province, and we had Greg Coelho, Rory Burke, and Assistant Deputy Minister Minu Sekand, and they presented updates from the Ministry for Seniors and Accessibility. And it was a really good panel. And I did have the opportunity to ask about the results from the Web Accessibility Survey. And so Rory Burke, who's in charge of compliance, he noted that hundreds of responses were received, which included representation from various functional areas of disabilities. And at this time, the ministry doesn't have anything to report back about results because they're analyzing the responses received, and then they're going to determine next steps. And as they let me know what's happening, and I am sure they will because they are very connected with this ONAP group, and I'm in the ONAP group, so I get included with all of the updates. I will update this group and let them know, let you guys know. And then I was also able to share the challenges that people have with who to contact when they experience non-compliance with legislation. And I know, Andrew, you've reached out to me a few times about this, and the ministry was really happy to hear that information. And they did share that they don't have it's not within their mandate to reach back out to a business and say, this person complained about this and you need to be doing that. But they did say that the feedback is really important to them. And they do track the feedback and they use it for making future decisions. So to carry on, if people are having circumstances where accessibility legislation isn't being met, please continue to reach out about that. And I do have the few numbers that you can call and email addresses if anybody needs those. That's it, I think.
Great. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks for that update.
Okay.
And the next meeting date, I guess it's to be announced. I don't currently have that in my calendar, but
it'll be February, Catherine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. And I guess we are at a stage where we can adjourn the meeting.
I do see Claudia and Ray.
Sorry, I missed that. Claudia?
That's okay. There was an email sent out with a lot of dates for,
Yes.
and I didn't answer them because I really don't know. I will assess like date by date if I can make it or not. Principally, yes, all of them, but I can't look that far in the future. And also, I have a question. Maybe you can help me with that. I have not found anybody who can answer that question for me. It's in regards to Justin Trudeau saying he's giving people on disability $200 more. I have not seen a dime of that, and I cannot find out why. What am I doing wrong? Do you know who I should talk to?
That's not Justin Trudeau. That is Doug Ford. And that $200 is to be sent out early 2020.
No. That's a different thing, the Doug Ford thing.
Okay.
Justin Trudeau had said that he would increase disability pension that comes from the CPP part by $200 starting January 2024. Now it's November 2024, and I'm still chasing that money.
A suggestion, Claudia, would be maybe to contact the MP's office in your area.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, something like that is government, coming from the government itself. I would contact the MP for that.
Yeah,
the MP's office.
I've tried 211 for that, but they couldn't help me actually. Usually they're very good. So I'm gonna do that. I'll contact Alex Ruff.
Yeah, and Kathy has her hand up, so maybe Kathy has something to add to that.
Yeah, there's an 800 number for CPP, Claudia.
Okay.
Have you called that?
No.
Okay, do you have a pen?
Yes.
It's 1-800.
Okay.
277.
277.
9914.
9914. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Okay.
Thanks, Claudia. And did you have your hand up?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Okay.
I have a question. I might be premature on this, but what is the status of the last meeting I was at? You were talking about the 14th Street intersection. How did that work out? I missed the first part of the meeting here.
Yes, Kathy, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Those comments have gone back to the Transportation Committee, and it is a project that I believe is slated for 2025.
Okay.
Maybe this spring, but don't quote me on that.
I figured maybe I was premature. I was just checking in on it.
Good follow-up question though, Ray. Okay, does anyone have any other questions?
Just a comment. Merry Christmas, happy winter season, everybody, till February.
Same to you, Claudia. Thank you. And so I think at this point we're able to adjourn the meeting. And great to see everyone. And oh, Kathy, sorry.
I think we need a motion to adjourn, Chair.
Oh, sorry.
right.
Yes, we need a motion to adjourn. Thank you for catching that. Can I have someone move the motion?
I'll move
Ray?
the motion.
And Claudia, would you second it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And, Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy New Year.
Thanks so much. Take care, everybody.
Same here. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right. Whoops.